Welcome to the Car Guys. This week we're at an Aston event at this beautiful hotel behind us. We're going to drive a few of the cars.
Yeah, we're most looking forward to obviously looking at the V8 Vantage AMR, the V12 Vantage S and the ultra new DB11 V8. We're an exclusive Aston Martin event run by Harwoods of Chichester. Is the V8 Vantage AMR. You've got V8 engine in here. It's limited to 200 models. It's been breathed on. It's a little bit more special than the standard car, slightly stiffer springs, a little bit more power. It's obviously got the Union Jack Aston Martin logo on it, which I actually don't mind. It's actually okay. But overall, it's a nice sorted car. It's not the fastest thing you'll ever see. A decent noise. Anyone who's had a V8 Vantage will know what these sound like, and this sounds pretty much like that. It's just got a slightly crisper throttle response. Like that, didn't it? Like that bit of road.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Love those little quick switches.
Yeah.
That's the greatness of the short wheelbase on this. It's just so darty. It's got a good old throaty roar to it. It's actually deeper, isn't it? It sounds a lot deeper than the standard Vantage. Still quite a big old manly gearbox, isn't it? Still quite a you know, requires quite a bit of force to push that through.
You're changing gear.
Yeah.
Which is I quite like.
And all this has been upgraded, hasn't it, with the latest generation.
Yeah. So when they brought the Vanquish out, they brought out the new haptic feedback buttons and centre console.
Is that what they call it? Haptic feedback?
Haptic feedback.
What does that mean?
It just means it gives some kind of feedback through your finger. When you press the button, you hear like on your mobile phone.
Does it pulse or something?
Yeah.
Okay. It is very smooth, this, isn't it? I mean, you don't really realise, as you get up there, it doesn't feel like it's that fast, but actually it is putting the speed on.
Yeah.
That sounds lovely, doesn't it?
Quite punchy. Yeah, this definitely feels more race car like. You're sitting a lot lower and I like that it feels like a small car as well, which is quite nice. This is so firm, isn't it? It's really solid. It does sound nice though. Very impressed with that.
Now this bad boy, this is the V12 Vantage S. My favourite body style of all Aston Martin, so it's the small Vantage body style, but they've shoehorned into this car a simply enormous V12, and this one's actually got the power pack on it as well, so it's got an extra 35 brake horsepower. So you are essentially getting with this a GT12, but without all the big wings and all the adornments. So it's properly fast, incredibly planted to the ground. Damping is excellent, and the noise this thing makes is extraordinary. Again, the GT12, big reason for buying a GT12 is it looks like a Le Mans racer, but it also sounds like a Le Mans racer. This thing sounds like a Le Mans racer. It's absolutely epic. So you can see it's a muscular car, but it's on the smaller wheelbase. So you've got bulges in all the right places. It pops and bangs just like you want to do, or as Salamandering says, it pops. But it's a proper, fast, brutal CADS car that will just obliterate autostradas, auto routes, and Europe generally. A V12 Vantage S. Does sound good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely
Oh, blimey.
The unautomated gearbox.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's almost, with modern gearboxes, it's almost counterintuitive to slightly lift now because they've been so sorted that you get very used to it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dramatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think sports shift probably wouldn't be for me.
Yeah.
I'm already, you know, I can see why, but to me it sort of feels a little bit strange to sort of slightly lift, and it means a little bit more jerky progress because you keep sort of forgetting to do it. Brakes are very sensitive. Does feel, I mean, it feels good. I just love the compactness and the shape of the Vantage body shell. I just think it's a very pretty car, and I don't think the bigger ones. I think the Vanquish S I'm looking forward to trying, but there's something about the size of this that I just absolutely loved. All the guys I've talked to today, they said this is the one that they would have. Yeah, this feels like a proper Aston Martin. It's got that sort of roguish, sort of brutal character to it. It's got the noise. You know, you feel immediately at home in this, I think, as well, which is nice. It doesn't feel like it should be legal, does it? It feels like there should be an EU directive saying you're not allowed to make that sort of a noise. Listen to that. Listen to it. Yes, that is. See, it's at times like that you think, honestly, why are you going to move to turbos, Aston Martin? Why? See, this just makes me not want the DB11 even more. When you've got this
different car, the DB11 though.
Yeah.
It's a GT.
Yeah. But you know, I've got to drive. I have to drive across Europe. Which one am I going to take? It would still be this. So what's just happened exactly? Because you're a little bit giddy.
I'm a little bit giddy.
Yeah.
I've just been out in the DB11 V8, and as you can see, it's only smoking a little bit after I took it out.
I mean,
so this is the 8. So the difference between this and the 12 obviously is the V8, but the engine's slightly further back and it's lower, so it's more of a 911 competitor type car. Instead of it being a GT, it's much more of a...
Doesn't it look good in silver with a black roof though?
Doesn't it look good though?
Ooh.
And I'm really impressed with the way it drove. I thought it was going to be wallowy and horrible, and actually it's very tight and nice, and that V8 pops and bangs on Sport Plus mode is just brilliant. I mean, that's the thing, that's what I'm giddy about. It's just those noises of pops and bangs. It's fantastic. But yeah, 155,000 spec'd up. Pretty good money.
What do you think is going to be the difference between that and the DB11 V12?
It's just different noise, I think, different torque profile. That's only got 650 pound-foot and the 12's got 700. So the things that I think are wrong with it are the windscreen's very small. It's like looking through a letterbox. So it doesn't make it particularly easy to place because it is obviously a very wide car. You can see this part here of the bonnet, that's it. So you're kind of guessing where those bits are.
Yeah, this is all blind spot here.
It's all blind spot. Now,
right.
So, but quite cool is there is cameras on the nose pointing left and right.
Okay.
So that you can, when you pull up out, so getting out of here, for instance, you can park, and we saw a car coming before we actually physically saw the car. I hate to say it, but I was really quite impressed with the way it handled.
So this is the DB11 V8.
Correct.
Wow.
And it's a Mercedes engine. So in the DB11 V12, this here is Mercedes AMG. This is Mercedes AMG, this is Mercedes AMG, that is it. Everything else is built by Aston Martin.
That's very interesting you say that, because the first time I sat in this, that felt very AMG to me.
It's AMG.
I've just been out for a drive in it. I'm very impressed. It drives very nice with the Sport Plus and GT modes. Means that you can poodle around the village at 30 miles an hour without disturbing anybody, with suspension on super soft, and then you can just click the button and hey presto, it turns into a bit of an animal, really, with lots of whoops and pops and bangs. This is the new dashboard layout, all leather, nice piano black plastics here instead of the carbon fibre. Allegedly this morning they had a family of 4 out in one of these. I think as a passenger, I think in the back, and in the passenger seat, if you had someone sitting behind you, you'd have to. There's quite a big compromise there. One thing is quite annoying: small button on the steering wheel, dampers on the steering wheel, nice little toggle buttons, which you can go from GT to Sport Plus. But if you're in Sport and you want to get to GT, you have to go to Sport Plus first before you can go to GT. So they only go forwards; they never go back. So you can't pull them back, which is a bit annoying.
I'm massively impressed with this car, and you didn't think you would be.
I thought I was going to hate it. I honestly thought I was going to hate it, because it's a big, massive car, and it, you know, when you're sitting here, it feels like it's a big car, right? And the visibility is not brilliant. It handles really well. I mean, it really does handle very well. The body composure was a lot better than what I was expecting. You know, a little, you know, extra little bit of throttle coming into and out of corners. I was expecting it to either step out and we get loads of traction control cutting in, but actually it gave a little bit of a wiggle, and then we just shot off up the road, which I was really quite pleased about.
Yeah, I think most people would immediately dismiss the V8 engine version of this, thinking the body's too big, it's just going to hardly move.
And I think they're going after the 911 market, because it's around the same sort of money as a 911 turbo. This is only 0.1 of a second slower to 60 than the V12, so it packs a punch, but you're working it harder, right? Obviously, V12 is much more kind of wafty, continent obliteration. This is more, you know, get out, go for a rag around the countryside.
DB11 V8, the small engine one, in actually a really good car, shocker.
Yeah. Despite us rubbishing every DB11 we've ever seen.
I mean, literally,
all of.
I'm not sure whether I want to flick the end of a silver phallus to get out of this car.
Is it a hammerhead shark? Is that what they were going for, maybe?
I mean, I saw one of these, as you know, with just sort of dark green and carbon, and it did look absolutely astounding.
Well, Romans. That was the one at Romans, wasn't it?
This one, this is what Bentley's trying to do as well. They just think if they put a sort of yellowy green colour on as an accent, it suddenly becomes hip and cool for the younger people. And I just don't think that's the case. If you don't have the sort of hey with the monkeys colour scheme, then I think these can look quite classy.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree.
This one's for sale, as indeed they all seem to be. Everyone's trying to get out of GT8s at the moment. I very much want to get in GT8s, but everyone is telling me do not get into GT8s.
And why are they telling you not to get into them?
Because they say it's a very normal car underneath, there's nothing special, it's just got a loud exhaust and a wing on it, and yet it's not therefore worth £250,000. These are the last normally aspirated Aston Martins.
Oh really? It's all going to be turbos, is it?
All going to be turbos.
DB11, if you are going to buy one of these, which some of you probably will, you must have it two-tone. You cannot have the roof the same colour as the body, because it just looks wrong. It's quite a big old motor, isn't it?
To me, it just doesn't seem to know what it wants to be. It's got this really quite sort of outrageous sort of thin tail to it, sweeping back tail, which looks a bit like a sort of Audi A7. And then you've got this chop out bit here at the front, so rather than the conventional Aston sort of slats or grills, you've got this big sort of cutout piece, and then this swooping sort of roof line. But to me, it's just not a pretty car. The Vanquish feels like a proper Aston to me.
I think after a while it'll grow on you, but it definitely is a different
Look at the back, look.
design theme for Aston, without a shadow of a doubt.
This feels more like a Lagonda for me than an Aston Martin.
Oh,
really
Lagonda.
Lagonda's coming back in a big way.
Really?
Yeah, the CEO, Andy Palmer of Aston Martin, said that the Lagonda brand is being revived in a big way. And there's obviously the SUV coming as well.
Oh, God. Right, so what we found here is a Vanquish S, which I think looks absolutely amazing. The blue on those wheels with the roof, it just looks absolutely stunning. And I'm not sure if it's open. Let's check to see if it's open. Let's go and have a look to see if it's open. It just looks amazing. This paint is incredible.
Look at these Dr. Octopus seats.
Yeah, look at those bad boys.
Ribbed for her pleasure.
There's more quilting in there and an old granny bake sale. Oh, I've come over all unnecessary. I didn't notice the white lip on the spoiler before. That's lovely, isn't it?
It's a pretty handsome beast.
That's lovely, isn't it?
I can't wait to get our grubby little mitts on this.
They're going to literally let us at loose with this, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked the video. If you did, subscribe or leave some comments below.
And a special thanks to Harwoods Group for inviting us along today, and for 10 Castle Street, the venue that we're at, which is an amazing venue.